I made videos about jailing with down 1, down 3 or whatever, and then immediately going into forward 3. Because often what happens is that you try to do this, let's say you're not fast enough, and then they mash on you, right? How often do we see that in Combat League or whatever? The problem is 13 hit advantage, so this means that this guy in his animation is moving for 13 frames. But apparently, like I think it's the average reaction time is about 15 frames, or is it the fastest? Let's look it up. I think that's the average time. Fuck, is it? Jesus Christ. Okay, average reaction time. That's what I heard before. 250. I don't know how scientific this is, but this is what I heard a couple times. And frames is 15. 15 frames that you can react to on average. So if on average you can react to 15 frames, now let's go back to the game. And this is a 13 frames. So it's just 2 frames faster than the average reaction time, which is why we often see this, because we expect them to either block or not, and by the time we react, it gives us 13, you know, if you have to look and think about it for 13 frames, and it usually takes you 15 frames to react to something, and then you have to get this out on tie, it's going to connect in 7 frames. Of course it's going to whiff. So I recommend doing down 3s. First of all, the hit advantage is higher usually, 13, 15 in this case. The visual is different. Like this, he looks like he's crouched. Here he's standing up, which so much easier, especially when you're both crouched, right? But still, it's possible that because of your reaction time, this might happen. So that's why I recommend you do this, a mid instead, because they're not gonna have time to duck and down 1 you. You're gonna hit them with your mid while they are trying to activate their down 1. So my view is, this should be plus 20, something along those lines. You should be stuck in this hit stun for about 20 seconds to give you proper time to hit confirm. Oops. So it's a little bit, just tiny little bit too fast. That's the thing. So why not make it 20 frames of hit advantage? What's the problem with that? It would really stop mashers. You have more pressure because then you have more time to get up in their face and stuff, to move around, to potentially grab them. If you remember, before the patch, it was like 9 frames of hit advantage, 10 or something. It was like impossible to jail anything at the time. That's why the double down 1 of scorpions were so prevalent. But now this has changed, which is good, but I'm saying like more hit advantage, please. Let me tell you why I thought that we needed more hit advantage. I saw this thing on Twitter. Saw this. This should never happen. Okay, so this is Train. Look at what happened here. Train pokes. He blocks. This is actually a good technique because this is what you want to do. After you poke, you want to block. Just in case, right? And then when you react to the hit, then you go into a mid. Like that. So this is fine. He just delayed it a little bit too much. To the point where the other guy had time, apparently, to react. But he told me it's because he was going to die anyways. So I think it's a mash. Let's assume it is. It's the smartest thing he had to do anyways. You're going to die, so might as well just try something. So look at this. I'm saying it should be 20 frames because things like this would never happen. Here, he literally tried to go for the 4-3 mid, gel it with the mid, but yeah, it was just a little bit too slow. Not that slow either, like. Okay, Slayer, give me a second. Yeah, it's kind of slow, but it's really not that bad. But anyways, this should not happen in the game. I think there's like, in my opinion, like I might be wrong. Who cares? But that's why I think we should buff hit advantage in the next game to make sure that once you get hit, you absolutely have to block. It's not like I might mash just because you're not fast enough to look at if I'm blocking or not. Anyways, that's just my opinion about that. Peace.